Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I'm asking the question, what is the full life cycle of breached personal data? And the answer we're about to find out thanks to the Ashley Madison breach. Now, if you recall, and let's go through the backstory here of Ashley Madison, and I've got my notes, I had to look it up. In July of 2015, attackers calling themselves the Impact Team stole around 60 gigabytes of personal information from Ashley Madison, which basically bills itself as a matchmaking site for people that are looking to have affairs. Ashley Madison's motto was "Life short, have an affair," and so obviously these are very personal details of members that they've got there, and eventually the Impact Team released this full information publicly on the internet and also on the dark web. Now, the reason why the Impact Team said that they did this is that they were basically doing retribution against Ashley Madison and their parent company, Avid Life Media, which is based in Canada, for deceptively using bots to pose as real women on the dating website in order to get men to pay to talk to supposed women for these affairs. Now, an analysis by Gizmodo later revealed that only about 1% of the registered female accounts on Ashley Madison were actually humans. The rest were basically bots. So if you were on that website as a male talking to a female, or a female, I guess, talking to a female, odds are you were actually talking to a scripted account, a bot. So this information is now coming back to haunt its users, and here's what's going on. Now, researchers at an email security company called Vade Secure found a new scam earlier in 2020 when they saw a number of targeted emails with apparent information from Ashley Madison breach victims. Now, the scam emails seemed to be well researched, and it didn't just have the user's email address, but actual information such as when the victim signed up, their username, their interests that they entered or plugged into their profile on the website. And this is basically a terrifying update of what is known as a sextortion scam. Now, in the most typical version of sextortion, basically the attacker claims fake information. We saw a slew of these in the last year or so, where somebody would get an email basically saying, I hacked into your webcam, I know what you've been doing, and if you don't pay me money, I'm going to release this information to your address book or to your spouse or whatever that is, banking on the chance that one of the 10,000 victims is going to be like, oh my God, they saw that, I better pay the money. This is getting very specific because they are actually taking this information culled from Ashley Madison, which obviously had very intimate details, and basically are saying, hey, if you want your Ashley Madison stuff dumped to a wider audience, or don't want it dumped to a wider audience, you better start paying me. And they are basically turning over details to that individual's email as they're emailing it, so it looks a lot more legit. And there are going to be people out there that signed up for Ashley Madison that probably didn't realize this all got dumped publicly, are still using the same addresses, and pretty much going to try to pay this. It's actually evil and ingenious at the exact same time. And so that underscores the question of basically how long is your information out there and how can it be used against you, and for how long if you've been through a data breach? And the answer is essentially indefinitely. If you're an American citizen and you've been through a major data breach like Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield or Marriott or Equifax or something like that, and odds are your name and social security number are out there. And one of the problems that we have is that we use social security as one of the main identifiers of who we are, and we are essentially unable to change that ID, which means as that's out there, that information can be perpetually used against us. And so if you've been part of a data breach, understand that even though Ashley Madison was about 4.5-5 years ago or so, people are still being hit as that data is reused, culled, and simply out there for anybody malicious to see, take, and use against you. So heads up, make sure that you are defending yourself. Make sure that what protections you can take, such as changing passwords or even email addresses in some cases, is something that you want to do. Make sure you're enabling multi-factor authentication, which protects your logins, although it doesn't necessarily protect the back-end database of the Ashley Madisons or pretty much any company of the world. And so if an attacker is able to get into the back end, your multi-factor authentication becomes irrelevant, but it stops most attacks and most traditional hacking attacks, and so heads up to you. But here we are. And so if you've been part of a data breach, and odds are you have been, I have, you have, odds are, then just understand your data's out there and it can be used against you. And so if you're getting very personal extortion or sextortion emails, it could be from something like this. So that is a very interesting case, and I thought you guys should be aware of that, and here we go. And so that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.